Okay, it's a cold Monday in Metro Detroit, the 28th of December. Yournews.com, right there. Mark Wilson with your webcam now, just the countdown to New Year's because we finished Christmas. Hope you had a great Christmas. It's a Monday. That means Christmas is over for 2009. It also means another Lions road loss. Man, 20 in a row. The second 20-game losing streak away from home the Lions have had in the 2000s decade. The decade of the 2000s will not be remembered kindly for Detroit Lions fans, that is for sure. The latest loss came in San Francisco. Beautiful day by the bay, 55 degrees, sunny skies. And you got to see a 49ers team that featured Dre Bly, the former Lion, who really had it out for his former team, wanted to stick it to his former team. And he did that with a pick and a forced fumble recovery. 20-6 was the final, and Drew Stanton's first NFL starter quarterback did not really go so well, to be honest with you. His quarterback rating was about 31, which is terrible, about as low as you can go. Alex Smith on the other side for them. By the way, the interesting thing about Smith and Stanton playing against each other, Alex Smith is the nephew of John L. Smith, the former football coach at Michigan State, who, of course, coached Drew Stanton in East Lansing at MSU. So a little small world comes around, and the offensive coordinator for San Francisco is Jimmy Ray, who quarterbacked at Michigan State back in the good years of the 60s. Won a national championship, went to the Rose Bowl there. Mike Singletary, of course, the coach of the 49ers, glad to have his seventh win. After a good drive by Stanton to start the game, the Lions did absolutely nothing. Defense didn't play so poorly. DeAndre Levy played the middle at the linebacker spot on Sunday and actually played pretty well. What else can I tell you that you don't already know? They got 2 Jason Hanson field goals, and that was that. They actually pulled Stanton in the fourth quarter after the 5th turnover. He had 3 of them. Kelvin Johnson did not really play great because he couldn't hold on to the football. But they actually pulled Stanton. I mean, normally, one bad game. He doesn't even go the full game to have a bad game. They just said, Schwartz pulled him out and said the heck with it. And Dante Culpepper came in. He engineered the 6th turnover of the game, 6 turnovers by the Lions, and they fall to go to 2-13. Lost every game on the road for the second straight year. Last time they won a road game was midway through the 2007 season against the Bears in Chicago, and that will in fact be the last team they play this year. Coming into Ford Field, Rod Marinelli, the former Lions coach, now the assistant with Lovie Smith in Chicago. And so he'll be back in town. I guess it's turning to the scene of the slime for Marinelli, who at this point last year was about to lose his 16th straight of the season, to go 0-16, first in NFL history. Now he'll come back as a member of the Chicago Bears, and Ford Field will give him a rousing, all 12,000 people, whatever shows up for that game on January 3rd, will give him a rousing ovation, I'm sure. So check that out. Read all about the Lions' loss to the 49ers, and the road season is over. If it wasn't so laughable, it'd be laughable. Other stuff to check on, the Colts' first loss of the season, Jim Caldwell, their coach, almost Jim Crawford. Jim Caldwell gets his first loss as a head coach of the NFL, and, should he have pulled Peyton Manning and the starters in the third quarter when the Colts were up 15-10 going for the perfect season? Because they gave up 23 unanswered after that, and that was the end of the ball game. Maybe, maybe not. That would make your own decision. You can email me if you want to tell me what you think at tvboy@yournewsdetroit.com. Love to hear your comments as always. Love the emails. So let me know what you think about Caldwell pulling all the starters. The Colts earlier in the week had said that they would more rather protect their players, the health of Peyton Manning and company, rather than go for the perfect season. Well, at least they kind of intimated that, and that's what they did. More on the NFL with, I think, the 2 teams right now that are online for the Super Bowl. That's Philadelphia and San Diego. I really think the Eagles and Chargers are playing best football around, although New England is up there too. Tom Brady had a stellar Sunday with 4 more touchdown passes. I think he only missed a couple of passes all day, and Randy Moss had 3 of the scores as New England won their game and wrapped up the AFC East. Tampa Bay's win over New Orleans. The Saints lose again. Again, they've got 2. Had a first in that game. First time ever something happened with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. By the way, with Tampa's win, the way I have it pegged right now, I believe, here's how it has to work out. St. Louis beats San Francisco on Sunday at home, and the Lions lose to the Bears. The Lions will have the number 1 overall draft pick. And Ndamukong Suh can become a Detroit Lion if, in fact, they don't screw that up and pick the wrong guy. Urban Meyer, the legend of Urban, the urban legend. It was a whirlwind weekend where he decided he was going to call it quits. He was going to resign because of his health. And officials at the University of Florida really want to keep him. So they said, look, Urban, take the time off. I mean, the football coach isn't necessary in college from January to August. So maybe your assistants can do the work. Recruiting could be hurt because other schools in that state, like Florida State and Miami, you know they're going to use it against Urban Meyer, Florida, about his health when they go into kids' houses before signing day in February. So Urban Meyer has some work to do there, but he decided to stick it out. And we'll see what happens. He has not closed the door to coaching the Gators in 2010. He will coach the Sugar Bowl coming up later. Was it this week? End of the week? Start next week? Yeah, next week. The Pistons lost at Toronto, but the big three are back. Ben Gordon, Rip, and Tayshaun all came back and still lost the game to Chris Bosh and the Raptors. You can check that out. They've lost 7 in a row now, the Pistons, 11-19, not good. A little tribute to the late Dave Diles. Dave Diles passed away, died this weekend. Former Channel 7 sportscaster, long time, also a national guy for ABC college football and whatnot. He was an author, really kind of a Renaissance guy. I knew David well, and it was sad to hear that he passed away at the age of 78, so check that out about Dave Diles. If you remember him, if you're a Detroiter, a long-time Detroiter, you'll remember Dave Diles at Channel 7. Before Don Shane was the anchor there, Dave Diles was a long-time guy. So the Lions lost to the 49ers in San Fran for the whole shebang and losing all the road games this year again. Colts, Philly, San Diego, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay winning, and a first ever with Tampa Bay's win. Urban Meyer, Pistons lose, and Dave Diles. It's all there for you on the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. Where is it? Right over there? Right there. And what are we at? 3 days? 3 days away from 2010. Get ready for a big celebration on New Year's Eve. It's all here on the Parker and the Man page.